What if I told you that for the price of a used pickup truck, you could own a home outright? No mortgage, no rent, no landlord. Just a simple, smart little place that is actually yours. I'm talking about a DIY tiny home with a detached garage, built smart, built simple, and built on a real budget. And today I'm going to walk you through exactly what it costs in 2026. Not the fantasy Instagram version, the real version. Materials, labor, permits, foundation, all of it. And here's the part that is going to surprise you. Done right, this whole package, tiny home plus detached garage, can be built for under $60,000 as a DIY project. I will show you how. But stick with me until the end, because I'm also going to show you the biggest money traps that blow up most people's budgets, and how to avoid every single one. Before we dive in, if you're into honest, no-nonsense building content, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. We do real builds, real numbers, and real talk. No sponsorships telling me what to say. Let's get into it. Let's set the stage so we are all on the same page. We are talking about a tiny home in the 250 to 400 square foot range, built on a permanent foundation, not on wheels. Single story, smart layout, one bedroom or an open loft design, kitchen, bathroom, living area, everything you need and nothing you don't. And next to it, about 10 to 20 feet away, a detached single-car or two-car garage. This is your workshop, your storage, your hobby shed, your future guest accommodation. It adds incredible value to this kind of property. This combination, a small, well-designed home plus a functional separate garage, is becoming one of the most popular setups for rural land, homesteads, and even suburban lots where zoning allows it. All right, let's talk money. I pulled real 2026 data for this, not guesses. The national average for a tiny home runs between $30,000 and $150,000 depending on how you build it. That is a massive range. So let me break down exactly where those numbers come from. Here is the single biggest factor that determines your budget: labor. On any home build, tiny or traditional, labor is 50 to 60% of the total cost. Let that sink in. If your materials cost $20,000, a contractor will charge you $40,000 to $50,000 to build it. Double the materials every single time. So when you DIY, you are essentially cutting your costs in half. That is not a small deal. That is the entire game. A solid DIY tiny home, 300 to 400 square feet on a foundation, properly insulated and finished, will typically run you between $25,000 and $45,000 in materials. A contractor doing the same build, you are looking at $50,000 to $140,000. Let me walk you through each major cost category. Here is what you are actually paying for on a 300 to 400 square foot tiny home on a slab in 2026. Foundation/concrete slab, $4,000 to $8,000, about $5.50 to $9 per square feet. Framing, walls, floor, roof, $10,000 to $20,000. The bulk of your structure cost. Roofing, asphalt shingles, $2,000 to $6,000, $10 to $13 per square feet installed. Windows and doors, $3,000 to $8,000. Do not cut corners here. Electrical wiring, $750 to $3,500. Hire a licensed electrician. Plumbing, $1,000 to $7,000. Includes water heater. Insulation, $1,000 to $3,000. Critical for comfort. Interior finishes, $5,000 to $15,000. Flooring, drywall, paint. Kitchen and bath fixtures, $3,000 to $10,000. Specialty small-scale items cost more. HVAC/mini split system, $1,500 to $4,000. Mini splits are the most popular choice. Permits and inspections, $400 to $2,300. Varies by city and county. Total for a DIY build, $32,000 to $86,800. For a 300 to 400 square feet home. Tiny homes do not just use regular appliances in a smaller space. You need smaller appliances. Compact refrigerators, 24-inch stoves, space-saving washers. And here's the cruel joke. Specialty small items often cost more than standard-size ones. A compact refrigerator that fits your tiny kitchen can actually cost more than a full-size fridge. Budget accordingly. Tiny homes, typically cost $150 to $450 per square foot, which is often more per square foot than a traditional house. Why? Because you still need a full kitchen, full bathroom, full electrical panel, and full plumbing, all crammed into 300 square feet. All those fixed systems cost what they cost regardless of floor plan size. You save overall because your total square footage is lower, but do not be fooled into thinking you're getting a cheaper product per foot. If your tiny home is on a foundation, you need a building permit. Period. In most cities, that runs $400 to $2,300. Some jurisdictions also require a licensed electrician and plumber, even on a DIY build. You can frame it yourself, but they have to sign off on the electrical and plumbing. Plan for this. Do not try to skip it. Unpermitted structures can kill your ability to sell or refinance the property later. The good news is that a lot of this work is learnable and doable if you're willing to put in the time. Here is what most capable DIYers can handle. Framing the walls once you understand the basics. Roofing with asphalt shingles, which is physical but straightforward. Installation using fiberglass bats. Hanging and finishing drywall, which takes practice but requires no license. Painting, which you should always do yourself to save $1 to $3 per square foot. And flooring installation, especially click-lock, vinyl plank, or tile. What you should hire out: electrical rough-in and panel work, plumbing rough-in, and your foundation pour if you have never worked with concrete before. These are the areas where mistakes are expensive, dangerous, or both. Now let's talk about the garage, and this is where a lot of people get blindsided because detached garages cost more than you would expect. Here's why. A detached garage is a completely separate standalone structure. That means 4 full exterior walls, its own foundation, its own roof, and its own electrical run from your main panel. You cannot share walls with the house. You cannot tap into the same foundation. Everything starts from scratch. In 2026, building a detached garage typically costs 10 to 20% more than an attached garage of the same size because of all those extra requirements. Concrete slab foundation, $1,400 to $3,800. About $8 per square foot average. Framing and exterior walls, $5,000 to $12,000. 4 full walls, fully detached. Roofing, $6,000 to $13,000. Includes labor. Garage door single, $550 to $1,200. Installed price. Exterior siding, $2,000 to $6,000. Vinyl is the most affordable option. Electrical and lighting, $1,100 to $3,000. Higher if far from main panel. Windows and entry door, $700 to $2,500. Ventilation and security. Insulation, optional, $600 to $2,500. Strongly recommended for workshops. Permits, $150 to $2,000. Required in most cities. Total for 1-car detached garage, $17,600 to $46,000. About 288 square feet, 12 by 24 feet. Total for 2-car detached garage, $20,000 to $57,600. About 400 to 576 square feet, 24 by 24 feet. Here is an important fork in the road. Do you build a custom stick frame garage or go prefab? A prefab metal garage shell for a single car can start as low as $9,000. And that is just for the structure, not including foundation, electrical, or installation labor. It sounds cheap, but add those on and you're often not that far from a stick-built price, and you lose customization, curb appeal, and in many neighborhoods, HOA rules simply do not allow them. For most people pairing a garage with a DIY tiny home, I recommend going stick-built and keeping the design simple. A basic 12 by 24 foot single-car garage with a simple gable roof, vinyl siding, 1 garage door, 1 entry door, and basic electrical is very doable in the $17,000 to $28,000 range as a DIY build. Since this garage is sitting next to a tiny home, you want to design it with purpose. Here are the smartest choices I have seen work. Go with a single car width of 12 to 16 feet to keep costs low. Add extra depth, 20 to 30 feet instead of the standard 20 to 24 feet, to give yourself workshop space behind the car. Use a 10-foot ceiling minimum, so you can add ceiling storage shelves or a simple loft. Pre-wire for a sub-panel even if you do not use it now, because this future-proofs the space. Insulate the garage door wall at minimum because workshops get cold fast in winter. And place the garage door facing away from the tiny home to keep noise and fumes away from the living space. Alright, the moment you came for. What does this whole package cost in 2026 if you build it smart? Build component. DIY materials cost. Contractor full build. Tiny home, 300 to 400 square feet, $25,000 to $45,000. $50,000 to $140,000. Detached garage, 12 by 24 feet, $17,000 to $28,000. $20,000 to $50,000. Total package, $42,000 to $73,000. $70,000 to $190,000. Let me put that in perspective. The median U.S. home price right now is hovering around $400,000. A well-built DIY tiny home plus a solid detached garage, fully completed, can come in at roughly 10 to 18 cents on the dollar compared to buying a traditional home. You want it outright. No 30-year mortgage. No interest payments. Just your property and your build. Now that does not include land. Land is its own separate conversation, and it varies wildly. Rural land averages $3,000 to $60,000 per acre, depending on location. But the point stands. For a lot of people, this is the most realistic path to actual homeownership available right now. Here is something a lot of YouTubers will not tell you. Design decisions made on paper save you thousands in the field. The simpler and smarter your design, the cheaper and faster your build. Let me give you the principles I would follow. For the tiny home, keep it rectangular. No bump outs, no angles, no curves. Every weird corner adds cost. Stack your wet walls so the bathroom sits directly behind the kitchen, which keeps plumbing runs short and cheap. Use standard lumber dimensions and design your room widths in 2-foot increments like 8, 10, or 12 feet to avoid excessive cutting and waste. Maximize vertical space by adding a simple sleeping loft access by a ladder, which adds a bed without adding square footage. Go with a mini split for HVAC because a single 12,000 BTU unit runs $1,500 to $4,000 installed and is perfect for 300 to 400 square feet. And buy reclaimed windows and doors when you can. You can find quality used windows for 30 to 50% less than new on Facebook Marketplace, Habitat for Humanity restores, and local salvage yards. For the detached garage, use a simple gable roof only. No hip roofs. No shed roofs with complicated flashing issues. Gables are cheapest and most durable. Go with vinyl siding for the exterior because it is the cheapest option and requires almost no maintenance. Stick with a single garage door at 9 by 7 feet, which runs $550 to $1,200 installed, compared to a double door at 16 by 7 feet, which runs $1,600 to $3,200. Unless you genuinely need 2 bays, stick with singles. Run one 20-amp circuit at minimum, because even if you only put in 1 overhead light and 2 outlets now, having the circuit in place means easy expansion later. Pour the slab 4 inches thick at minimum, because this is not where you save money. A weak slab cracks and heaves, and you will pay for it later. Do it right the first time. Whatever your budget is, add 20% on top as a contingency fund. Every single build, professional or DIY, has surprises. Unexpected rock when digging, a material price spike, a permit requirement you did not know about. If you do not use the contingency, great. If you do, you will not be stopping your build mid-frame because you ran out of money. Alright, let's land this plane. Here's what we covered today. A DIY tiny home, 300 to 400 square feet on a foundation, costs $25,000 to $45,000 in materials in 2026. A simple detached single-car garage adds $17,000 to $28,000 on top of that in DIY materials. The total package comes to roughly $42,000 to $73,000 for a capable DIY builder. Contractor builds run 2 to 3 times higher, which means your labor is the biggest lever you have. Permits, specialty appliances, and the fixed cost of plumbing and electrical systems are the budget traps that surprise most first-timers. And simple rectangular designs, stacked wet walls, reclaimed materials, and mini-split HVAC are your best money-saving moves. Is it easy? No. Is it worth it? For a lot of people, absolutely yes. There is something genuinely different about owning a place that your own hands built. and at a fraction of what a traditional home costs. It is one of the few real options for genuine housing affordability in 2026. If this video helped you, drop a comment below and tell me, are you planning a tiny home build or just doing research? I read every one, and the questions you ask shape the next video. Give this video a thumbs up if you found the numbers useful. It really does help the channel more than you would think. And if you have not subscribed yet, now is a great time. We're going deeper on DIY builds all year, covering foundation pours, framing series, electrical walkthroughs, and real content for people who actually want to build. I will see you in the next one.